Now, this is where fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, in those per se states like that, if it's a requirement in per se states like that, if it's a requirement that they have to reach an opinion to get probable cause to ask for the blood or to get the blood, that's exactly what I would do. I would argue it's no different than, I would say, Judge, it's no different than if they brought a Ouija board in to figure out whether or not the person was on drugs, and they go, whoop, it says they were. That whether or not the process of getting probable cause is valid is also subject to a fried dogma. That's the way I would argue that. Because I think you can. I think you could say, if you were here yesterday, the studies, the 4 studies that all of our experts in clinical research said, the studies overwhelmingly show that the DRE program does not work. It's no better than a coin flip, right? So certainly, Judge, if they flipped a coin to decide whether or not they were going to do a blood test, we would find that that was unacceptable. It's no different. It is no different. What essentially they're trying to do is take lay opinion and dress it up and make it look fancy. Just because I know we're virtually out of time, you'll see a lot of the points that we raise in this with references to transcripts. We did that literally because we're both very passionate about this. I'd love to see this program get dismantled itself. And they are under the impression, they are trying to say, nothing to see here out of this decision. It's just one court in one area, it doesn't mean anything. So we made a decision, we're putting it all out there, hopefully that it gets challenged nationally. I will tell you they are concerned about our case. Behind closed doors, I think people share that with me. But outwardly, their position is, that was just an anomaly, it's no big deal. What obviously is. Right. Well, they got a lot at stake. I mean, from their standpoint, we had some people that were newer DREs who quit doing it after finding out what we exposed because they were sold a bill of goods too. But you'll find that people that have been there long term, those 20 years, heads of the program, I mean, they'll sit there and just say that doctor doesn't know what he's talking about ophthalmology. Okay.
They'll say, I know it works.
Yes.
I know it works.
I've seen it in the field. They haven't, right? But you have to realize that all of those major indicators, there is absolutely nothing that shows that taking a particular drug will produce those signs. Certainly, and this is one of the things that's significant, there is nothing that shows that it only occurs at impairing levels. All of our experts said that these things can exist. They may exist at therapeutic levels. In other words, you're taking the drug as prescribed. You may have a high blood pressure. You may change muscle tone. You may do that. But the DRE, their position is, and we had the DRE trainer testify in this case, that these things will not appear unless you're taking impairing levels of the drug. So you can see the inherent flaw that they are claiming that if you have these elevated results or depressed results, then it means it's an impairing level. Now, when you pin them on that, they'll say we consider totality, but that's just not what's going on, okay?
By the way, let me mention one thing. Yeah. If you're looking for a good expert, go to your local college, yes, if you have one with a PhD pharmacologist, because University of Georgia has a pharmacology school, and we use Dr. Randall Tackett. He eviscerates the test, and he's only $1,500 to be a local witness. I'm sure he'd be more a little further away, but he's in my list of experts. He said that the DRE program is not just a joke, but it's a fraud on the public. Because he said what they're saying they can do is impossible. He said, I can't even do it, and I've been teaching pharmacology as a PhD for 30 years.
And then I'll tell you, that's very common, and this is one of the areas I think in terms of getting experts, we had people that were like really interested because they could not believe that this was being done to arrest people. And physicians were particularly outraged that someone could go through a 72-hour class and claim to do things they can't do. And if you sometimes approach them, even with limited resources, you'll find that you might actually get a receptive audience because of how much they like it. So I know our time is up. You know, we hopefully, with all these materials and information you'll have, our contact information, you can contact either one of us at any time. We're happy to help. And obviously, if we're around, you have questions, that's great. If not, they come up later, feel free to contact us, okay? Thank you so much, everybody.